I finally got to
And
watch
it's
the
just to
match.
help people do what
Which
they
one?
want to do.
Which match?
You really hook people up to a machine. I'm sorry, that's too dark. This one. I couldn't be there in spirit,
That was a great
Ah,
one.
but
that's gotta suck. I'm sorry, Cal. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I
I feel your pain, brother.
I watched it. It's again patreon.com/Black Rasslin. You can pay the 1, pay the 10 to watch me kind of, what do they say, verklempt a little bit about the Athena Willow 3. I finally watched their second match. It was a short TV match, or I say short. It was like 10-minute TV match during the Owen Hart tournament, and I was like, that first match is a banger. So this third one's got to be super crazy.
I mean, and that's the thing that's always we've always said about Homegirl is she can always go.
Mm-hmm.
It was the other part.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the scrum,
Mm-hmm.
and shouts to Tony Khan for saying, "Wow, this could." He watched their first match on Honor Club back in it was like the end of February. They were the main event of the second show, and he said at the scrum, he said, "I think this would be a dope trilogy," which is cool because that means you're going to get the guy who's running the company trying to put together, a 3-match series. But that, like, there was no other storyline other than they're wrestling 3 times, which I don't want to say is the disservice, but you don't get a lot of
No, he don't, Sean.
you don't get a lot of like development on promo and stuff. They may have cut like 1 or 2 promos to camera. I don't think they really did a lot of interfacing. They did more wrestling together than they did like talking back and forth. So that was my, like, for people who weren't knowledgeable about that, the fact that they put this on as the main event. This is the first women's main event in Ring of Honor history on a pay-per-view. It would have been cool if there was more story, but I'll say this: it didn't matter because that match was one of my favorite matches of the year so far. I'm not even gonna hold you. They did the little section where they were doing all those callbacks to the class, like Sarah Del Rey's and Daisy Hayes and all of the great women who came before them in Ring of Honor. Like I wasn't even thinking about them going there just because they had already had dope chemistry and they're dope together.
Mm-hmm.
But them putting on for that was important. I'm glad that they made sure that they had that in there. I was surprised, me, because you said you saw it and you said you were you were really impressed by the match, no?
Very impressed. Because I have to pay attention now.
Yeah.
And but I'm being selective. I'm still being selective on what I watch. And this was a selection that was worth watching. I specifically picked that one out because I always felt like Athena was good. Always something missing, of course,
Right.
but I feel like when she left WWE, she got more it almost feels like she showed up as her organic self
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. And organic self, I mean by just not holding back.
Keeping it 100.
Let me keep it 100 with you.
Okay. So it feels like in the ring.
In the ring.
Is that her suffering succotash?
That's a good. Was she fed? We never asked the question. Was she fed 100, or did she come up with that by
That
herself?
sound like
I
she
think
made
that
that one up. That
she
felt
came
like
up with
her
that
old.
one.
She heard that at her hood.
Let me keep it 100 with you.
That's her period. Period. Yes.
Let's get 100.
Yes.
Also
Her
100.
homegirls be like,
Like, that's
yes,
the beef, man.
girl. Yeah, no.
She don't call her friends homegirls.
What she call them? What she call them?
Oh, she probably she's my girl.
Susan.
Just my girl.
But I mean, so
Erica.
I mean, like, just not holding back. which in some instances I think she should hold back, but it feels like she's just being super like hardcore.
Yeah. She's definitely flipped a switch. I think everybody. There was the one match where she like was noticeably beating up on the one girl,
Yes.
just based off of the idea of being a heel in that match. And she kind of
Right.
went in, and she got a reaction, which I don't think. Shouts to Vin. She got a reaction that I don't think people were ready for, but I think what she did was she said, "You know what? Let me lean into this. Like, it feels good." And not for nothing, Tony Khan, she's 30. It was 31-0, I think, going into the match with Athena and Willow in Trenton. And that was all within the last year. Like, you think of the time Wes Lee put on that 269-day title reign.
Mm-hmm.
Athena was over. She was kicking ass in AEW, then got that ROH Women's World title, and she's the longest reigning champion. I think she's got Mercedes Martinez beat by like a week and some change at this point in terms of 200 some odd days. So, or whatever the length of time is. But I think Tony. I hope that Tony Khan is doing this for a reason. I think because that was what Chris Brown asked. He said, so the matches were dope. They had the 3, but what's next? What's moving forward after this?
Isn't this allegedly, or was this kayfabe? I'm not sure. The committee that he has, because remember, this isn't AEW technically. This is ROH.
This is ROH.
So this is that committee of who was in it? It was Stokely and somebody else that we know.
Oh,
like
that's
Bob
right.
Holly or something. Not Bob Holly. Was it Al Snow? Somebody like it. I don't know, one of them niggas.
Jerry Lynn. Yeah. Maybe.
So I mean, because is that something in his ear? Is that why it's different than what he does on his Wednesday and Saturday TV?
It's I could see Stokely having a very important or invested voice in the back room, talking about, oh, Athena's on this roll, oh, Willow's a banger, look at everything Willow's doing here and for New Japan and whatnot. And because the match was hard. There's people were coming out of that match saying 5 stars. I don't know if I'm saying 5 stars, and it didn't
happen in Tokyo though. That's automatic half star off.
There was one streamer that was thrown at the end. It was this sad ass green streamer. I kind of felt bad. I feel bad. Like, again, Patreon. Go to the Patreon. You can hack away at that match all you want. The match was dope.
Oh yeah.
Without needing to be 5 stars. The question is, because that was the one thing that frustrated me in the scrum. Mimi, did you watch the scrum?
No.
I watched Athena in the scrum, and she talked a lot about Mischief and Sarah Del Rey, and I think having this match and this is her first main event on, there's a lot of firsts with this, and I think she wanted to make sure that she was paying homage to the women before her. But the obvious question kept coming up: what's next? Where do you go from here? And she was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I'm ready for whoever. She dropped some hints talking about this belt's getting lonely. I would like to grab another title. I don't know if that means she's going to go into AEW and try and work it, but I think Meals is kind of. Can you bring that one back up, fam? Meals dropped a comment, said Athena Willow 3 could have the same impact as Bailey Sasha from NXT if there was more effort put into it. And I think that's the thing. There's a lot going on with Athena right now. There's a lot going on with Willow Nightingale right now. There was a lot put into Bianca Sasha at that WrestleMania and the role Bianca's had. And I think if there was just a little more juice coming from the ROH/AEW side about what they have and what they've been cooking in that women's division, but in particular Athena and Willow Nightingale, because Athena sounds ready. Athena wants to take on the world.
I think it can't be on that app for it to matter. It can't be on that app. I think that's it. It needs to be a Ring of Honor match. It shouldn't shouldn't be on a Ring of Honor paper. It should be on AEW at least TV.
Right.
But I would say a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. If you wanted to give it feel, because you can't give a match reverence just on that app. You can't. I niggas ain't never gonna care about that like they gonna care about a pay-per-view match.
It's just me talking. It's like me. It's me and a bunch of other people talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point, they got to show people that Athena Willow 3 matters. Sluice of the A show, they just hit their 301st episode this week. That stuff matters, you know. People are doing things, and you got it. Wesley said it earlier. You got to give people their flowers, especially while they're here. God damn. R.I.P. to my homie Phase One, aka Mike G. You really. I was just talking to this dude about, you know, it's crazy. I've known you for a while. We didn't really get up, especially in a minute. Like, you know, a lot of people are reconnecting, and then to hear that like somebody's not here no more. Like, you know, that stuff is real, and that's why you got to make sure that that's why I was pissed when I wasn't in the arena for this.
Yeah,
it was in your backyard, right?
When I tell you, it's over there. It's right over there. Hop on the Antoine. No, it's right over there. It's very accessible. I bought tickets, and I know Sparks was there. I was out of town, but Sparks hit me with a voicemail talking about, you know, I'm in your area. You know what's going on. We didn't get a time to link beforehand, but we have to go up for these things because they're not going up for these things clearly.
Yep.
So the hope is that at the very least, if Athena's saying, boom, I would love to go to Japan. I would love to wrestle some of this AEW women's talent. Put her on Rampage. Put her on Dynamite. Let's go. Cinder was there too? I heard there was a bunch of people at the ROH show. I don't know who all made the trek, but shouts to y'all for hitting up Trent. Hopefully y'all like the arena. It's not a bad seat in the house, honestly. But anyway.
That's very funny, Vin. That is very funny.
I talked to Sparks briefly. Shouts to him. I wish I was there, but we'll get up next time, no doubt.